All right, we're going.
Oh, hey, we're on. Welcome, everybody. Another edition of Friday at 420 is about to happen, and you have found us. We appreciate you checking out our little podcast that we love to do. We're live streaming on this Friday afternoon, and we're glad you're along. If you're seeing this after the fact, well, we're still glad you're along, even though you missed the initial airing. We have a great show lined up for you. We've got a very special guest, and we're going to continue with the hilarity that is Friday at 420 by introducing our panel, our esteemed panel member, Mr. Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
You feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling
Yeah? We're going to light it up today? We're going to light it up?
it. Yeah, I think so.
Well, you seem a little... All right.
I actually just got out of bed like 5 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Brutal, dude.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It happens when you stay up till 4 a.m. playing poker, so...
That's true.
I saw that you just won. You just Monday night.
Yeah, I did. I took down the Jamie Stevens weekly Poker Stars tournament. I took it down for the second time. It's my second win.
We're gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to take you to Vegas, man. We have to see if these skills are real or not.
I should give Patrick money to gamble, and so we can make some real money. Wait a minute.
Wait a second. You have been.
Yeah, I'm still
and you
waiting.
Guys you're still up, right?
Yeah, I haven't done one of those big ones in a while. But
he's got time for all these little tournaments. He's not ready. I think you're ready for the big times, Patrick.
I think.
All right.
Yes. The person who is staking Patrick is none other than Manolis Zontanos.
T-Connie's Mike. I saw you the other day. I was so happy,
brother. Not only did you see me, Manolis, I let you in my house.
Yes.
Which it's a pretty big deal because I have two daughters.
Yes, you do. and I was trying to pretend that I was a priest the whole time.
You were very good. You were a good man. And I should say, we served you dinner.
I'll say, yeah, it was a delicious dinner. And I won't, not only like it's the first time I met, have I met both your daughters or is just the one daughter?
No.
Okay. So I've met them before. No,
Yes.
both of them before. I can't remember.
Okay.
Obviously very, very pretty girls, but also first time I met Mike Neighbor's wife.
Yeah.
Also,
she does exist.
A smoke show.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Now we know how it all happened.
The only thing I'm going to say is I live in a house with 3 women, and they're all lovely. But right now, at this moment, I'm just going to go out and say it. They wouldn't agree, but I'm going to go out and say it. I got the nicest hair.
I was just going to say that. I was actually just going to say that.
Yeah, I do. Let's get to our guest. It takes no time at all to introduce this man because he doesn't have a lot of credits. Please, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our new friend, Mr. Nick Durie.
Oh, that's happening, guys. Thank you for having me. It's weird. I just got out of Patrick's bed 5 minutes ago, too. So.
Well, you're looking a little disheveled.
Just a bit, yeah. It's right over there.
Nick, awesome to have you with us. Of course, you know the boys from doing stand-up comedy over the years here in Hamilton. You're currently residing in Toronto. How are things going through lockdown? Are you okay?
Yeah, doing all right, hanging in there. I've got a day job that keeps me busy enough and just started a podcast and doing the occasional Zoom show, which is death, but it is what it is and good to flex the muscle a little bit. But yeah, hanging in there.
How do you find the Zooms? Because you've done some corporate Zoom shows. How is that? Is it, I mean, I know it's completely different, obviously, but are you learning some tricks to it or?
A little bit of tricks. So one of the things that is interesting is you can do crowd work in a much more easier way because you can just kind of pick out people's tiles and make fun of things that are around them or their setup or what's behind them. Right. And they don't even have to be engaged with it. So crowd work kind of works out a little bit better with Zoom shows, but it's pretty terrible. You just kind of have to put yourself out. And then doing a corporate show where you can't swear adds just another level to the awkwardness of it. But right. It is what it is.
Well, we are really glad you've decided to do our little Zoom show, and we are going to have some fun. At any time that you want to make fun of somebody in one of the other tiles, please feel free.
Okay.
And we will tell you a little bit about Nick's podcast, which sounds very cool. Manolis is even a guest on that podcast, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we got to get to our game. I don't know if you know how this is played, Nick, but right here in my hand, I have 12 envelopes with 12 random topics. official Bell Media envelopes, even though I was fired by the joint. I stole the envelopes. I said, no. I said, listen, okay, I'll give you all the stuff back you own, but I'm keeping the envelopes with the random topics because I got to keep doing this show. So we've got them here in my hot little hand, and I've just shuffled them. So we're just going to go right off the top. Nick, you chose topic number 8. I don't know if you can see that. Topic number 8. Here we go. Topic number 8 for our good friend Nick Durie. Here's an interesting one. I had something in mind when I came up with this topic. I don't know if it's going to, if you guys are going to understand what I mean. But Nick, I want you to think about what's the worst thing that food does. Is there something, any particular food that you kind of, and I was thinking kind of peanut butter sticks to the roof of your mouth. Is there something that food does to your insides, whatever? What's the worst thing that food does to you?
Should we really be eating asparagus if it affects our pee that badly and that quickly? Like, it's got to be some sort of like poison thing for it to go through our system. Like, no other food really goes into your urine that quickly.
You're absolutely, and I don't know, because it's only, what is it? Like 70% of the population are afflicted by this. Like 30% of the people don't even get jokes about asparagus making your pee stink. But for me personally, it's a horrendous smell.
Yeah.
Like a revolting kind of, oh my God. Like to the point where you don't even want to eat asparagus.
Yeah. And asparagus and beets, like the fact that beets make our stool that dark too is kind of, we should be rethinking those two food groups in my mind.
That's it's funny. It'd be a stool turning. I'm a big black licorice fan, and I was so revolted by what color my stool was, but it was green. And so I even went on Google and I looked up, like, why does black licorice make your stool green? And there were answers, which obviously I wasn't the first person who asked the question. Turns out it's green dye that makes it black. Yeah. See, learn something new every day. I agree with you on the asparagus, Nick. Good answer. Manolis, I'm going to go to you next. Manoli, what's something that food does that you really hate?
I think I'm at an age it doesn't matter what I eat. I automatically feel bloated. I don't know what it is. It's like I feel like I could like not eat ever. And I'm like, am I getting fat? Like, I don't know. I think my metabolism has become food somehow. Like it's just like I don't even need food. I find that something about I like plant pancakes, but it seems like that's one of those foods too. For some reason, it just seems to go right through me. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
I don't know why.
I thought you were going to say it made you all feel, because pancakes are like a lot of air, right? And I thought that would
that too, but then
bloated.
Also. It makes me feel bloated, and then it just comes out of my butthole like a shotgun later. You know what I mean? Apples is a weird one too. You ever notice you eat apples and you're just feeling you're like painting the toilet? It's like you're like half air and half apples. It's like doing something in your insides. It's like I'm like, what? It's like your butthole is like, I can say asshole. What the hell am I talking about? Your asshole's sneezing. It's like like I don't know what happened. I don't know. Our bodies don't dig apples, man.
Yeah.
Probably something to do with Adam and Eve, I think.
It's not feeling like a Red Delicious anymore, is it? No.
Can't I? At least my brother. One time, my brother ate string, and that was a whole ordeal itself.
It was like the magician, where it just keeps.
Yeah, you got it, brother. You got it.
All right, Patrick Coppolino coming up the rear. What do you say? What's something that food does that you hate?
No comment on this one, Mike. No, I'm kidding. Well, first I'll touch on the asparagus thing. I think I might be on the 35% where I haven't really noticed the urine thing.
Okay.
But it does it affects other things. I think I'm allergic to asparagus.
Oh.
As soon as I eat it, instant pain, diarrhea for the entire day.
Whoa,
So,
that's not good.
Really?
I wish it affected just my pee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like asparagus. I like eating it. But
so this happens like just with raw, or like even if I put asparagus in something, or
yeah, even if it's cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat it, and then just like these terrible stomach aches. Manolis, remember when I just started cooking and we were on the road, and I think we were in Ottawa, and I was cooking us meals in that hotel,
Oh, I remember that.
and
yeah.
we bought a bunch of asparagus. We had it with like every meal, and like that whole trip. Remember, I was just like I was in the bathroom like every 30 minutes.
I know, but you also drank beer. Like
No, but I found out because it kept happening, and I realized the common denominator was asparagus, and then I looked it up, and it's actually not an uncommon thing.
Patrick could be a doctor. You could just tell him your symptoms,
Yeah.
and he'll look it up on the internet.
I'll look it up on the internet. I get my
Yeah.
PhD online.
Thanks to the hypochondria. The thing about asparagus, because ultimately, I've said before that the stench is like almost makes me not want to eat it. Except I have friends, and I've started doing it myself, who take the asparagus and wrap it in prosciutto,
Yeah,
and then
Right.
and bake it in the oven for a little while, and it's like that's
Yeah.
worth the stink of the pea later.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
But you definitely, because I've spoken to other people who go, I'm not sure if it makes my pee smell. No, you will know.
Yeah, I don't think
If
it
it
does
makes
for
your
me.
pee smell, you
But
will.
It makes my poo smell.
Wow, and it always comes back to the butthole. All right, let's move on to our next topic here on Friday at 4:20 with our special guest Nick Durie and his awesome podcast Starting Out, which I believe, Nick, you're just starting out with the Starting Out podcast.
Yeah, we've done 4 episodes. Episode number 5 is coming out next Wednesday. So that is November 10th, I believe. And special guest Manolis Zontanos talking about his experience starting out doing stand-up.
November 10th. When the hell did we
Oh,
record this?
What did I just say? Did I say
November
November?
10th.
March.
Yeah, you said November.
I have no idea what month it is. I'm just in my mind's still back in Patrick's bedroom.
Somebody on Facebook just went, this is an old episode. Bam.
Sorry, March.
Shit.
I didn't
know
even
why
question it. I was like, okay, we're November.
Yeah, November. Sure.
Sure, I'll deal.
All right, here we go. This one for Manolis. No, you know what? That was too close to the topic we just did, so I'll save that one for later. How about this one? Oh, look it! It's a special Manoli topic.
Uh-oh.
This goes back to my experience earlier in the week when I had Manolis over to my house for the very first time. So after Manolis left, maybe even while you were still here, my daughters made fun of me for saying Manolis is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. And they were kind of like, oh, Dad's having a bromance with Manolis. And my daughters have deep voices like that, which is scary. So what I want to know is, am I wrong? Is Manolis not one of the sweetest guys? Now, Manolis, obviously you can't answer this question. You can just take the accolades from everyone else. I'm going to start with Patrick on this. Is Manolis not one of the sweetest guys anyone could ever meet?
No. I'm just gonna answer everything like you guys said, but yeah, of course, he's one of a kind.
What is it? What is it that makes him
The selflessness,
right?
I think, probably is
Yep.
the strongest
That's a good word. I like
attribute.
What's that word
That's a
mean?
real word, right? Selflessness. Yeah,
It
it
is
just
a
means
real
like you're not selfish. You do a lot of things for everyone else before yourself.
But I also, it goes kind of beyond that in the fact that Manolis thinks about other people when they're not around.
Oh, yeah,
which
like
is a really weird thing.
He'll
right?
show up with like a gift for people on
Yeah.
for any occasion. It's just because like he's not because like it's someone's birthday, I got to get them something. He'll see something that reminds him of other people, and he thinks they'll like it, so he'll get it, and then he'll give it to them next time he sees them, and he knows like and a lot of people that receive a gift like that from him are always like, wow, really? Like they just blows their mind because no one does that.
No one does
Like
that.
literally no one does that.
The
But
shirt
also
I'm
like
wearing-
he's also you could
The shirt you're wearing, Nick?
Is a gift from
The
Manolis.
shirt Nick's
That
wearing.
was
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gave me this as a gift, completely unsolicited. And he just thought I would like it, and he was absolutely right. And I love wearing it whenever I'm around.
Yeah, but also like I know a lot of people joke about like, like, oh, if I had to bury a body, would you help me? Like their friends, Manolis would, like he actually would.
I probably
I
would.
truly believe if I killed someone by accident and I wanted to, I had to clean it up somehow. The only person I would call is Manolis.
I'm sure it would be by accident too, Pat.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there for legal reasons.
Nick, you already kind of commented on it, but anything else you'd like to say about how Manolis is one of the sweetest? It's not a bromance thing. I don't even particularly like Manolis, but he is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met.
It's his degree of empathy. It's how he thinks about other people, and you guys kind of touched upon it. But he's not just nice for nice sake. Like, he actually gets to know you and figures out what makes you tick. And I remember one of the sweetest gifts he got me was this little, and I have it right over there. It's this little Daniel Johnson painting, and it's a boxer who doesn't have his gloves anymore, and he's not upset about it because he says he doesn't have to fight anymore. And Manolis gave that to me because he knows I'm always fighting myself, and it was a really thoughtful gift and something that I look at basically every day. So yeah, just the sweetest. This is just a love fest.
This is crazy, right?
Rest
this
in
isn't even
peace,
funny
Manolis.
anymore. This is supposed to be a funny show.
You know, and it's just, you know what drives me crazy? But yet I can't find love, right?
How is
Look at
that
that.
even possible?
I know. I don't know. I can't get.
Yeah, Mike, when you said that and then fixed your hair.
Yeah.
How's that
No,
possible? You're the best boyfriend
Maybe
ever.
you should come over again. This hair's got to go. I'm going to get it all cut off. It's making me crazy. Manoli, talk to me a little bit about what it is. What makes you so sweet? Because when you talk about your parents, it's like they were really cruel and mean to you most of your life. So where did you learn the sweetness? Where's the sweetness gift come from?
I wish I knew, man, but it's like there's something that it's just something. There's something that really upsets me when it's like not just I like to give gifts and stuff, but like if I see someone that's in some sort of pain or distress that's near me, it really upsets me like too much. Like I don't like it. Like I know I think I've said this on the show before, but like I've never in my life watched game shows because I don't want to see the loser. I don't want to see someone upset that they just lost $50,000. That bums me out. I can't even watch game shows. I'm like, and like, I remember like one time I'm like, this guy was trying to charge us $5 for parking, and my buddy was all drunk, and he's like, "What the f you want to charge us?" And this guy was worried. He thought my friend was about to beat the shit out of him, and he's like, "I'm sorry, it's okay, you don't have to pay." And I had to pull this guy aside and like calm him down. I'm like, told my friend to go f off. I'm like, "Don't worry, he's not gonna hurt you. You're fine. Here's $5, please. Everything's fine. Everything like." And it like that when I sensed that guy's fear of like thought he was gonna be harmed. It really just I don't know what it is. It makes me so sad, and I can't deal with it, dude. I think I have too much of this empathy, I guess it's called. But and at the same time, I really get off on others people's joy. You know, there's something really.
Oh, it's a sexual thing.
Yeah, I go home and I pull one off. Sometimes I don't even go home.
I think the only other thing we should say about this, and then we're going to leave the topic because it's not funny enough, is that most, and this is the funny part, most of the gifts that Manolis gets people, he gets at thrift stores.
Russell
during a pandemic. It's
Russell
very
Peters, like, so I got about 10 really cool albums that are like for like DJing and stuff that I found.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Russell, give me your address. He goes, "Oh, don't worry. Next time I see you. So I know Russell's playing this club that I'm friends with the guy that owns the club, like in 2 weeks. So he doesn't even know this. So I got my friend's address. I mailed him the albums, and he's gonna give them to Russell when he comes there.
Oh, and this will be like from Manoli.
Yeah, Manolis, and I know Russell's gonna be like, "What the?"
Very cool.
It's just funny too. I love it. Like I'm gonna get these albums to you, bro.
One way or another. All right, you're listening to Friday at 420. You're watching Friday at 420. We appreciate you doing that, hanging out with us on this Friday afternoon as we get ready for the weekend with our special guest, Nick Durie. This topic, because we started with Patrick that time because it was a Manolis topic, this one we're going to start with Manolis. Topic number 11 on this Friday at 420. Manolis, the first time you told anyone that you had lost your virginity, were you honest? Did you ever lie about losing your virginity before you actually did?
The worst lie.
Oh, the worst.
So I'm like, I think I'm 17 and this girl's like 16, I think. And we start dating, but she already had sex a couple times, I think. And we were just fooling around, we're dating, and she's like, "Have you ever had sex?" and I was like my ego. I was too embarrassed to tell her that that I was a virgin, and it would have been the best thing I could have done. And my best friend in grade 10, he was getting sex all the time, and he's telling me all these stories. So every time she asked me a question, I would just tell a story that he told me. And she's like, oh my God, it's going to be so amazing when we have sex. And then New Year's, we were going upstairs. It was like her parents were there, and we're going upstairs to have sex for the first time, right? And as I'm walking up the stairs, it hits. I'm 17. I'm like, my brain goes, wait a minute, Manolis, you know nothing. You know nothing. You didn't know. You didn't for once think about to ask your buddy. I'm like, okay, yeah, but how do you do it? Like, what happens? Tell me more about the actual sex.
Yeah.
You know,
do that.
so we go in, we start fooling around, and I think I get in a little bit, maybe. I'm not even sure. And I go, boom, blow up, like bust. And then I don't even know what I'm doing. So then I'm like, I just stay in her like that.
Just while it goes limp.
Yeah, while it goes limp. And then I roll, and then I'm like, Happy New Year's. Oh yeah, it was brutal, bro. Never lie.
All right, that's good for the kids listening at home. Never lie. And if you need to know how to actually do it, you can talk to Manoli. Because he's learned since, right? You have.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Patrick Coppolino, did you ever lie about losing your virginity before you lost your virginity?
No, not until right before I lost it. I'll explain.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind.
Because the girl I lost it to, I remember right before, she was like, oh, I got to tell you something. I don't know if you're going to like it. And then for whatever reason, I said, oh, are you a virgin? Hoping she was going to say yes, because I was. And she went, oh, God, no. She goes, why are you? And I was like, no. Of course not. I've done this hundreds of times.
Let me call Manolis and find out how to do it.
Just stay in after you're done.
Please.
Yeah.
Never leave.
But it was embarrassing, but that was like a month ago, so I'm over it.
I'm okay since. Well, yeah.
Sex is still the same for me, though. Nothing's changed.
Boom.
I always used to think that was the great thing about having kids. At least people know I've done it at least twice. So yeah. You wear your scorecard in the back seat of your car with the kid seats. All right, we saved the best for last. Obviously, Nick Durie, did you ever lie about having lost your virginity before you actually lost your virginity?
Not about losing my virginity, but I remember being like 12 or 13 at like a local pool, and this cute girl came up and started talking to me, and she asked me if I had ever had a wet dream before, because she only dates guys who had wet dreams.
Ooh,
This is true. And I had no idea what a wet dream was because I never had one. And I lied and said I did, and she wasn't interested in me anyway. And to this day, I still have never had a wet dream because I get so excited whenever something is about to happen that I wake up.
That's so funny. I like how you lied about jizzing in your sleep.
Yeah.
That's
so
a
weird.
brag.
Yeah, you're bragging. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I'll probably do it
Like
tonight.
one of those. It's a humble brag, right?
Yeah, I just wet dreamed 5 minutes ago.
I'm jizzing right now, baby.
All right. Since Nick brought the topic up, I like you, Nick, have never actually had a wet dream. I used to think it was like a myth. I thought it was a myth that had happened, that had happened or whatever, because it just never ever happened to me. And I don't know. Again, is it like a asparagus pea? Is it only like a percentage of the population has wet dreams? So I'll put it to you two other jokers. Have you ever had one, or is it a myth?
I believe I have when I was younger.
When you were younger?
Yeah.
When I was younger. See how he qualifies that. Yeah.
Also,
Not recently.
Much like the asparagus, I almost had a brown dream. It's the only joke I've written since COVID, and it's about that. It's a brown dream. It's like a wet dream, but shitting, where you dream that you're pooing and then you wake up pooing.
You know, my dreams are so frustrating. I wish I've had wet dreams. I had the girl we had, Elena Kushka, on the show, right? I love if I think about her long enough, I'm like I think I love her. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I had a dream about her, and in the dream we were just talking.
And you busted.
And I did blew my load right there. No, but it was like I'm like so lucky that I have this woman in my dream, and I'm not even having sex with her. It's just like I'm in my dream. I'm getting to know her personality. Like I'm done, dude. Like, so it's over.
All right, let's clean this thing up because we have we want to make this it's a family show. Topic number 2 in the stolen Bell Media envelope. This one for you, Nick Durie. Do you say Drury or Durie? Durie. Okay, so it's not like the Blockheads guy.
No, like it sounds, like it's spelled.
Okay.
Durie.
Do you drive, Nick?
I do drive.
Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. So this topic on Friday at 4:20 with Nick Durie, the thing that annoys you the most on the roads. I know there's a lot of things. If you drive, there's a lot of things that bother you, and blah, blah, but I want one thing, and it can be a small thing, just one thing that you go, is the one. If there was one thing I could fix on the roads, it would be this.
When someone does something, when they make a mistake, and they apologize, but they're happy about it. You know what I mean? Like they cut you off and they're like, like, no, I'm in a full rage right now. I don't want you to be happy. Like I'm not happy about this, but you want to, hey, everything's okay. It's like, no, it's not okay. I get to dictate the terms of like whatever temperament we're going to choose for this interaction. Don't bring happiness and joy into this. I want to just fly off on a fit of rage.
I want to kill you.
I want to kill you. I don't want joy at this stage.
What you're talking about just happened to me like last week, and so I'm just driving in a neighborhood street, and I drive a little faster than I probably should, but a guy rolled a stop sign and just pulled right in front of me, and I hit the brakes, and I kind of had to veer off, and then I got up back behind him, and then he gives me the wave out the window like, "Hey, buddy." Like, no, then I wanted to ram him even more. I agree, Nick. That's a fantastic point. It's not something we think that much about. It's not like leaving the blinker on or something, but it is. You want shame. You want to see shame in that wave. Yeah, exactly. You want an apologetic wave.
I want some embarrassment. I want you to be thinking all of your life choices that led you to this point. And I want you to remember this look of rage on my face for the rest of your life.
I can't imagine you looking that way.
That's true.
You got a pretty friendly looking face. I don't think. Oh, look at me now. Now I'm coming on to Nick.
I look like a younger Patrick.
Yeah, and he's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm the only beardless guy here. This is strange. Manoli.
Yeah.
One thing.
One
thing from the roads. One thing.
Just one.
Just one thing that really just like, if people would just.
For sure. I think because of cell phones, I'm like, it really would make me happy if like people like when the light goes green, that people would go. Yeah. Like it's like we're in a world now where it's like it's either you're in an advanced green situation or just a regular green where you're going straight. But like I've been behind two cars where like they both are sitting. It's a green light. It turns green and like 10 seconds go by. 10, and you're like, oh my God. Am I in the Matrix and this is the system that's trying to make me have a nervous breakdown? Like, really? Like, is that the life we're living in? Like, no one should, no, cars? No, they're not to get places. They're just to sit in front of green lights. That's my life now? And then the advanced light goes green and I'm in front and I take it, right? I'm like, I'm out of there, but I'll look in my rear view mirror and the whole row of cars, the next car behind me, he's still not moving. I'll be like halfway to Stony Creek and this guy's still sitting at the green light. Like, it's like, okay, take the next level. Just get out of the car and open your picnic basket and put a blanket on your hood and call the kids over and like have a lunch, have an afternoon nap on the hood. Like, what is happening? Why did we make cars? To not go anywhere? Like, you blow my mind. And another thing is, why are people that will get in your... I went through a crosswalk once where it was like it went a little too soon. Like, someone came, it was like a weird timing. I caught up to the crosswalk and a person came up at the exact same time. So I didn't stop and I just went. And then this guy came up to me and tried to tell me, like, yo, bud, you know what you just did? And he tells me, I'm like, and I go like this. I go, oh, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. Can I ask you a question? He's like, what? Do you have a time machine? I go, do you have I said this to him. I go, do you have a time machine? He goes, no. So we can't go back in time and redo that, right? We can't redo that, right? It's like,
Nope.
no. So you're effing with me right now. Is that what you're doing? Are you just trying to F with me right now? So you want this? Is this what you want? You want to deal with this right now? Is that what you're doing? And he's like, all of a sudden he's like, and he rolls up this window and he drives away like in fear.
That's what you did.
Because I was ready to get out of the car and like smash his head into a curb.
Nick Durie wishes he had that anger face when he wants to show his anger face.
Dude, I don't like if the car's in front of me and doesn't go, I don't even beep. I accept it because I know people. I understand people. It falls back to like why I'm such a nice guy, because I understand we're all going through the same misery. As mad as I am, I know if I beep my horn, that guy might get out of this car and go, what the F? You beeping at me? You beeping at me? And I'm like, whoa, bro, I'm just trying to get a coffee, you know? So I'm like, I accept that. I accept it. So don't.
All right.
Anyway.
Deep pressed, buddy. Yeah.
Was that an answer? Was that an answer?
And yeah, no, it was a great answer. It was an excellent answer. Exactly what I was looking for was rage. Road rage while sitting in his basement. I love it.
Yeah.
Patrick Coppolino, how do you follow that up? What's one thing on the roads that you're...
Well, I'm a pretty passive driver.
You just recently got back on
that. Yeah, I did. But I've always liked driving. So like I know Manolis doesn't like driving to begin with.
I hate driving.
So like I've never been in a car with someone who gets more mad about more things than Manolis does on the road. But I gotta say, for me, probably the thing I've used my horn the most for is jaywalkers. That like I don't mind if you're jaywalking if I see you like cut across the road and you scurried and you made it. That's fine.
Oh boy.
But in Hamilton especially, there's so many people that just like wander onto the road and they look at you and they see, even if they might even give you the wave, like, thanks for letting me pass. And then they take their time. Sometimes they walk like on diagonally. So like it's taking them longer to make it to the other side.
Pat, what are they wearing?
What?
What are they wearing? They're always wearing those pajama bottoms.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought you were like, I don't know, shirts you got them from Value Village.
No, they're always wearing, those track pant pajama bottoms.
Yeah, they're casual. They got nothing to do, nowhere to be, but they just like, that probably drives me the most nuts. I just hold the horn down
because their lives are so horrible. It doesn't. If they get killed, it doesn't matter. It's better.
Oh yeah, like you really have to fight the impulse to just step on the gas and drive right through them.
We've also seen a big move towards making our cities more walking friendly, and I think some people have taken full advantage of that and have decided that walking trumps anything else, and that if you're a car, and even though it's the middle of a roadway, I'm a walker. I deserve the right of way here.
Even I'm shocked how many just elderly women with walkers that I see doing this, and it almost bothers me more because I know in her head she's like, "What are you gonna do? Like, I'm in a walker. I deserve this." Like that drives the entitlement there drives me insane.
Remember that woman with the walker in front of the church?
Oh yeah, she dropped it.
Yeah,
she dropped her stuff.
Yeah. And we pulled over and I blocked her because she's in the middle of the road on Albion. Yeah. And Pat puts her walker together, puts it back on. I put all their stuff in and I bring her back to her walker and I go, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She goes, "No speak English. No speak English." So I go, "I only know one other language." So I go, "Malais Linika, can you speak Greek?" And she goes, "Nah." She was Greek.
Yeah, she's so happy.
It so happens, and that's the only language I can speak. That's not speak. That's as much as I can say. That's all I know.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I've met so many Greek people in my life. They always say "Manolis Zontanos," and I go, "Okay," it means no. but I know what Manolis Zontanos is. And then I'm like, oh shit, how do I talk to this woman?
Yeah,
now?
she followed it up. She was so surprised that he could speak Greek, and then she asked him something else back, like she said like a long Greek sentence, and he's like, oh no, we're not having it. This is not a conversation.
Yeah.
But then what the crazy part about that though was, so she like was walking, and this all happened right in front of a church too. Remember?
Yeah, right in front of a church.
And her walker knocked over, all her groceries and everything spill onto the road, and we didn't know until we got up close as what happened, because remember there was like 4 cars ahead of us and they all like slowed down, so we're like, oh, what happened? And they're all swerving around her and then keep going.
Yeah.
Nobody stopped to help her. They literally like slowed down, drove
super
around this
dangerous.
like 90-year-old lady and all her groceries all over the road just to get around her. Like they were annoyed that she did that.
So I put my
hammer.
I put my 4-ways on, put half my car on the sidewalk, and blocked her. And then me and Pat, we didn't even talk. Me and Pat, I stopped. We both got out at the same time. Like we were like 2 cops on a call. And it's like, it's so funny too, because as she left, and I'll say like, I said to back to her, I go, "Agro milais ligo linika, puli ligo." I can only speak very, very, very little Greek, so I knew how to say that. And I say, "Daxi Tora, are you okay?" But then she was leaving, and she kept saying, "Hostos anesti." I think it's Hostos anesti. I'm butchering it, but it means praise Jesus. Like as she's leaving, she wouldn't let me drive her home. She goes, "No, Daxi." She's walking away with her stuff, and she just kept saying, "Hostos anesti, praise Jesus."
Which one of you do you think she thought was Jesus?
Probably Patrick, to tell you the truth.
I had longer hair back then.
If you can believe it, we are almost out of time on this wonderful edition of Friday at 420, and we got to get everybody into the weekend. But I wanted to leave a little bit of time at the end here for Nick Durie to tell us a little bit about this new podcast starting over. It's what it's about, where people can find it, and why in the hell you'd invite Manolis on.
Sure. So it's called Starting Out. The idea came, I started stand-up at the age of 37, which is not a normal age that people start stand-up. And so I had a lot of hemming and hawing as to whether I could even do it. And people like Manolis and Pat were really helpful in encouraging me to do it. And then I, just in my head too much thinking about it. And I overthink things in general. I thought it was somewhat of an interesting story. And I think it's interesting talking to people who start out creative things, just what their mindset was, what motivated them, what they were fearful of, what they regret, what advice they would go back and give. So it's going to be mostly comedians. We're 4 episodes now, mostly comedians, some musicians. I'm going to get some athletes. Would love to have you on, Mike. Would love to have Patrick on at some point to talk about starting out, levity and those kind of things. So weekly podcasts available wherever you get podcasts every Wednesday. It's called Starting Out. Manolis' episode drops March 10th, which is next Wednesday. So check it out if you guys can.
And how is Manolis as a guest? Because I only know him, of course, as Manolis, a co-host on this show, and he's annoying as hell. How is he as a guest, though?
He's about the same. No, you can just. You get
No
him. No, you only need a couple questions to get him going. I mean, it's not And there was times that if you listen to this episode, there's one specific time where he makes a big statement, and I'll just say it's a statement about Hitler and the Jews, where I was just like, "Look, dude, I'm gonna really need you to dig yourself out of this. Like, I don't know what you're talking about." And to his credit, he did. But I sweated a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you, Mike. So I'm not sure your sweat level.
I forget what I said, to tell you the truth.
It was a story that involved.
I would just say that usually what I find with Manolis is if he goes down some sort of dark rabbit hole, if you wait long enough, he'll just keep talking and eventually bring it back to masturbation, which is a jumping point we can all find, right? So
absolutely.
There will come a time.
Natural transition from Hitler.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get there. Yeah, nobody else could, but Manolis will.
Yeah. Also, before I forget, Nick, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but are you the newest member of Cask?
Yes, actually, I was just had the honor of being named treasurer of Cask, so the Canadian Association of Stand-Up Comedians. Came on board, going to help out with some of the financials and some of the money and raising funds and disseminating benefits to comics and all those types of things. So we've got a big member drive coming up that we're about to launch that's going to sort of crescendo in May of this year. So yeah, for any comics out there, we're going to be starting a drive, so we'll be hearing from Cask. So yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing some good work with Cask as well.
That's awesome.
Oh, and what's, do you know the Cask website? Is it
CASC?
I think it's Canadian stand-up, but we're actually, I'll say this, we're actually thinking about doing a rebrand because we don't want to be exclusive only to stand-up comedians. We want to invite people who do sketch and people who do improv and those types of things. So
don't bring the improv people in. Oh, Jesus. That's just, your meetings will go on for 7 hours.
I'm really glad.
So mean.
Yeah.
Manolis, what do you got to say? Nick, we appreciate you doing the show. We'd love to have you back again, and maybe we can flesh out a little more of your duties with Cask, especially when you're getting ready for this drive, because we'd love to. Comedians do need to pull together. They deserve so much more than they're given by this country, especially by the arts community in this country. And so we certainly fully support whatever you guys are doing, and we'll do whatever we can to help you get that message out. So we'd love to have you back. Thank you so much for doing the show, brother.
That's awesome, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Manoli, what do you got to say to wrap this edition up?
My buddy Matt Ellis has got a new album coming out, and you can go to his Facebook to just see the links where to order it or pre-order. It's actually called Full Moon Fever, and I just bought 2 copies myself today. And he's kind of like I guess you could say rock punk, but he's amazing. Matt Ellis. If you can't find him, message me on Facebook and I'll guide you to him.
Matt Ellis, new comedy album out that you
No, it's rock and roll.
It's a rock and roll album. Oh, that's why you said it was
punk. Rock and roll punk. Yeah.
I thought it was punk comedy. Okay.
All our old episodes, tell him, Mike, all our old episodes. You can find them on Spotify and everything else.
Tell him, Mike. That's right, everybody. You can now find our old episodes of Friday at 420 on any of your favorite podcasting services.
I like that voice.
No, thank you very much. That's the announcer voice. And all of our contestants today have won Samsonite luggage. All right, Patrick Coppolino, what do you want to say to wrap things up, buddy?
So you can go to levitycomicclub.com.
Are we open? Are we
no,
open?
No, we're not. Not yet. And every time I think we're going to, then I keep hearing the numbers are going up in Hamilton. We're probably going to be in a lockdown again. So I have no idea. Follow us at Levity Comedy Club, though, because we will announce it as soon as we're allowed. But in the meantime, follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/BatchGoTV. Live comedy's dead. The internet is the future. Follow me on Twitch. I play poker and other games and
yeah. Can you think of a better time, a better way to spend your time during a pandemic than to watch Patrick play poker?
Oh, people are watching you play video games, Mike. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
And subscribing. You know, they're paying.
Yeah.
There's only one video game that I play, and that's WGT Golf. So can you imagine people watching me play golf? Watching golf is bad enough. Watching me play golf on a video game, can you imagine?
I actually have the PGA Tour 2021, and I've streamed that. Someone even came into the chat and was like, this must be hard to stream. Like, you must not get a lot of interaction on this one. It is. It's a weird one, but...
Well, speaking of weird, that does it for this edition of Friday at 420. Thanks to our guest, Nick Durie. Manolis, Patrick, until we catch you again, thank you so much for your efforts, and Manolis especially for hooking me up with a microphone and a camera and not hitting on my daughters. Until we get a chance to see you again, thanks so much for watching Friday at 420. Have an awesome weekend!
Woo!